every single time. Introducing the new BF Goodrich All-Terrain KO3 tire. Legendary toughness made tougher. BF Goodrich, what are you building for?
Not only has employee pricing been extended at Alexander Ford in Yuma, it's better than ever. It's Employee Pricing Plus. You still pay what we pay on the entire lineup of new Fords. Plus, take a test drive this month, and you could win $10,000 cash. Just scan this QR code to register. It's another incredible month to save on Ford Escapes, Explorers, Expeditions, and of course F-150s and Super Duties. For a difference you can count on, it's Alexander Ford in Yuma.
All right, welcome back, everybody. We are here once again with your 1 p.m. update here on the Method Race Wheels Fishgistics coverage of the 2025 Baja 500, brought to you guys by Fox Shocks all day long today. You guys having fun watching this race? It's a good one. Once again, these last few races have been really good, honestly. It's so close between these teams out there now that you never know who's going to win. I mean, literally seconds between these cars, and it's just it's really amazing at how well a lot of these cars hold together nowadays. You don't really see a lot of people with many issues or anything, and we get some good racing out of it, and that makes it exciting to watch. So let's go over here and take a look at our board here. So if we look at the leaders, look at how close this is. Everyone's making their way over the Mike's Sky Ranch Road right now. So this is Highway 3. You come down here, it's the speed limit. You make a hard right, and then you head up to Mike's. Once you get up to Mike's, at the top up here, it gets pretty nasty. I think Mike's is right here past this road water crossing. So this is the water crossing at Mike's right here. You can see Robbie Gordon just went past it. Then you make this left, and this gets nasty. This section is not very much fun. If you make a mistake in this next section, you are going to be up there all day and all night until after the race is over and your crew can get to you, because the only way for your crew to get to you up there is to go up the race course. So this is not a section you want to have a problem in. It's also a section we may see a bottleneck in at some point. We're just going to have to wait and see. Hopefully that doesn't happen, but it does sometimes. So we'll have to wait and see what happens. But so far, we're looking pretty good. Now, the trackers have been updating a little bit weird. So, like always, you got to look at when they last updated. It says, see, it's showing Tavo in front right now, but we know that the 83 is actually still in front. You can see Luke's tracker hasn't updated for 8 minutes. So, it is going to be the 83 still in front. And then in second is going to be Toby Price in the 46. And then in third is going to be Tavo. So, Tavo's actually third. So, once those other two update, they'll jump up here. After him, we think it should be Alan Ampudia and then Kevin Thompson. That's going to be your order there. But Robbie could be in front of Kevin Thompson. I just need to wait and see those two update. I believe the 5 should still be in front because he was last update, and I don't think the 5 stopped at all that we've seen. So the 5 should still be in front of Kevin Thompson. So that's the order that that's going on right now. And then let's see what getting some more updates for you guys here. So as soon as we get a time split, Again, let me see. I'm going to look at my other. I have another timer here that we're getting some splits at. So at mile 160, let's see, where are they? Right now, pretty much right where they are right now. It was Toby Price is leading on corrected time by 52 seconds over Luke McMillan right now. And then in third place is Tavo Vidosala, 2 minutes and 3 seconds behind Toby Price. That is on corrected time where they are right now, right where the vehicles are right now. So once again, on corrected time, it's the 46 Toby Price on corrected time by 52 seconds over Luke McMillan right now. So that's a look at your top three. Behind them, if I go back to like mile 155, here's your corrected time there. So it was Toby Price first, Luke McMillan was second, 54 seconds back. Alan Ampudia is third there actually, then Tavo, and then Robbie. And I think we have a guest coming on. Speaking of McMillan, we got Andy McMillan. Let's see if we can bring him on here. Andy, can you hear us?
Yeah, mic check. 1 2 1 2. You got me?
What's going on, man? What are you doing? How come you're not out here? We should be talking about you and showing one of these numbers out here, and your name should be popping up. What the heck?
I know. I know. I was in France for 2 weeks, and didn't think I was going to have time to pre-run appropriately. And so yeah, here I am at home. But I've been watching the race all morning. Quite a race we got going so far. As I usually do when I'm not racing, I'm fully immersed in your updates and the score feed and what's going on. So here I am.
Yeah. Well, what do you think if you were put yourself in Luke's shoes right now? So your cousin Luke, he's first on the road, but he has a Toby Price right behind him going over
Yeah.
this section after Mike's. What is Luke thinking right now? What like do you like that he's behind you still, or do you not like it? What do you think?
Toby was behind me at the start of the Baja 1000 last November, and he puts a lot of pressure on. And I know that Paul is getting in the truck later. So at the 1000, I think Toby was thinking, I want to make up as many positions as I can and get Paul the truck first on the road. So that's probably what's going through his mind. But also this area of the course, starting this really technical Mike Sky Ranch loop, you got to keep the truck on course. Lots of rocks, lots of dishes. We saw the rain they had. So the rain, depending on I don't know what the conditions are like right now, but what I saw from pre-running, the rain kills a lot of dust.
Yeah.
So right now, probably being Toby is a really good position to be in. And yeah, I don't know. Being first on the road is nice, but when you're making dust and when there's not a lot of dust behind you, being first on the road, you're being hunted. So Luke's got some pressure behind him. It's a tight race with Toby, Tavo, and Alan. All pretty much right there.
Yeah.
So it's exciting. But as soon as up here they're going to be crossing the observatory road and headed south. That's a very, very tight, technical, mountainous section that we ran a few years ago at the 500, again at a 400 a couple years ago. You can see on your map, it's just tight, twisty, uphills, downhills, very treacherous. So just keeping the truck on the track and really making it through this Mike's loop and popping out in San Quintin, I think that's everyone's goal right now, is just like probably try and stay in line, keep the truck together, and then once you get to the beach, let it open up.
Yeah. Do you think that Toby even tries to put a pass on Luke through here? I mean, there's nowhere to pass, right? So he would have to bump him and hope that Luke maybe pulls over, right? There's no way to drive around
Right.
him through here, right?
Right. And depending on, I haven't seen any footage of the race so far up at Mike. So who knows if there is some dust, if the sun came out and dried it up
There's
a
a
little
little
bit.
bit there's a little bit of dust because I'm looking at Toby's camera right now and his rear
Wow.
camera. There is some dust, so he's definitely gonna
Okay.
have to drive through some dust. Yeah.
Toby's he's a smart racer too. And so he knows, just keep it on the course, try and apply some pressure from behind and hope Luke gets some time splits and try to get to him that way. But really it's just, for me, it'd be stay in line, try to put pressure where you can, drive your race. And if your pace is good and you got a window and you can close up to the guy in front of you, by all means, take it when you can get it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
there you can see there's some
that's
dust hanging a little bit.
yeah, that's Toby right there. So I was trying to see if we can see Luke's dust in front of him yet, and
Yeah.
I haven't seen Luke's dust yet, and I don't see Tavo behind Toby yet either. So I think they're kind of gapped out where they're just
Yeah.
in clean air right now, really. Yeah.
Yeah, and I got the tracker up, and with the updates and stuff, it's really hard to tell like exactly. They update every 1 minute or 2 minutes. So is it 1 minute 30 seconds, or is it 2 minute and 1 second, or 2 minute 59 seconds?
Yeah.
So it's hard to tell. But yeah, looking at that, that's hard. That's hard conditions to run up on someone in that kind of hanging dust right there.
Yeah, and like we said, there's nowhere to go around. I mean, look, there's bushes on both sides of the car. There's rocks all
Right.
along both sides of the course. Like, even if
Right.
you get a flat tire in here, where do you change the flat at? You have to change it on the course
Yeah.
pretty much, right?
Yeah, you gotta go and hope that you find a nice little pullout, or you're just running on it, and try not to hurt, a rotor, a caliper, and try to find a clean place to pull over. But yeah, that's why the race is going to be made or lost up here in the Mike's Loop. Once you get
Yeah,
on the coast, it opens up and it's pretty easy driving as long as you got good notes marked, which all these top guys obviously do.
yeah, for sure.
So this Mike's Loop is really gonna make or break your race.
Yeah, definitely. No, this is exciting to watch in here. It's cool to see that the co-drivers, they have so much information now. You can see even he's got an iPad mini over there. So Brent is actually looking at their split times live on that iPad mini. So he knows every 5 miles with this other program that they're all running. They know every 5 miles where all of them are at all times. So that's
Wow.
something new that you've never had that information before, right? Like it's pretty cool if you
No,
can have your co-driver know live every 5 miles exactly where you are, huh?
100%, 100%. And it goes both ways because I'm kind of old school in a way where timing updates and all that, like we used to really not even get splits. If you got a
Yeah.
radio split, that was like a home run. Like you literally won the lottery. So it
Yeah.
was more like running your pace and waiting to the end of the race. Nowadays with the technology, and obviously everyone can watch the tracking and live feeds, watch your updates. You're sending a lot of information from other people's teams and what's going on. And this guy had a flat, and that guy's doing this. So there's such a plethora of information out there. Now it's really dialing down to like, okay, what's important to know in the race car? What do we tell them? What don't we tell them?
Yeah.
Because sometimes too much information can be just that, too much information. Sometimes you
Yeah.
got to simplify it. Keep your visor down, run your race, and just click off miles. I think that's what a lot of these guys are doing right now.
Yeah, definitely. No, I think like you said that this section that they're in right now is really where the race is going to be won or lost because after this it's pretty much just going to be follow the leader all the way up the coast. Kind of like it was over to
Yeah.
here. Like I didn't see anybody
Right.
pass over here. The only people that I saw pass was Tavo blew a turn or got lost and he had to turn around. So that's how
Mhm.
Toby got in front of Tavo. That was the only reason why he
Okay.
got in front of him because he wasn't right on his butt, but Tavo got lost or turned around for a second and then Toby went by. And other than that, I
Gotcha.
haven't really seen anybody pass. The Letner had a flat tire, so somebody got around him. Robbie got around him, I think it was, and then that was about
Yeah.
it. But no one's been running and passed another car yet.
Yeah, I saw Lofton has moved back a little bit. Not sure what happened with him earlier. Um, so yeah, I think a lot of these guys, it's really make it over to the coast, kind of position yourself for a big run up the coast, and then it comes
Yeah.
down to pit strategy. Who's pitting at San Quintin? Who's pushing it further up the coast? Um,
How far?
and then
That's a
once
good
you get
question. How far can these trucks go? Because I wasn't watching Toby the whole time, but I know that Luke stopped and he pitted. He did two rear tires and he did full fuel. It looked like. Now, how
yeah,
far can these trucks actually go on fuel? Can you make it all the way to the coast?
I don't know what mile San Quintin is. I haven't looked
It's
at
it's
the
about like
200.
240 ish.
No, they can't make it that far. I think the
Okay.
most you're really willing to risk and push it is maybe 200 miles.
Okay.
Um, you got a 105-gallon fuel cell, so called 100 usable gallons to be safe, and then roughly 2 miles per gallon, 2.1, 1.9, 2.2. That's roughly what the guys get. But then everyone errs on the side of caution, and then it comes down to being selective on where you want to pit. Like, hey, there's a really nasty rocky section, so let's change tires right before that.
Yeah.
So maybe that's what some of the guys did before the Mike's Loop is, hey, let's start with a fresh set, going up into Mike's, really nasty rocks, and then we know pretty much everyone's going to be doing a two-stop race.
Yeah.
So you break the 460 miles into two stops. Where does it make the most sense to do pit one? Where does it make the most sense to push and do pit two?
Yeah, and you have a couple extra miles because of the where the race actually starts at Rancho Nelson, right? That's like mile 15 or something. So both ways, that's 30 miles that you're actually not racing and are
Yep.
really just cruising. Plus, they might have
Yep.
topped off when they got to Rancho Nelson, right, to re-top off.
100%.
So
And then you
yeah,
got to factor in, the highway sections and the speed zones,
yeah.
because now
Which there isn't
you're
too
saving
many.
fuel.
There isn't too many this one, right? Just the Valley T section was kind of the
Yeah, the
longest
Valley T
highway,
one, the Valley T one's really the big one I think I saw. And
and
then
then
Santo
Santa
Tomas
Tomas.
Europeans, 9
Yeah.
miles.
Cool. Well, all right. Well, yeah. I mean, I don't know. What do you think at this point? How's it looking? You think Luke's gonna be able to hold them off?
I think with the dust, Luke just puts his head down and runs his race. Obviously, Toby can just follow him and still be leading on time because he started 2 minutes behind him. So, yeah, I don't know. I think Luke is in a good spot because he's first on the road, and you can kind of just run your race and look at Toby's camera right there. You can see the dust, and it's up and it's hanging. And as long as one of these trucks are moving pretty good, I mean, even when I've qualified bad in the past, and you follow a two-wheel drive trophy truck, or nowadays sometimes you even get behind a spec trophy truck. Those trucks are moving and they're putting up dirt. So just trying to take a risk and run through someone's dust and get to their bumper. I mean, conditions have to be perfect for that to happen.
Yeah. Look at this. The 70 just came to a stop. So just as we were talking about that section, the 70 went to 0 miles an hour right now, 0 minutes ago at mile 159.1. So maybe just a flat tire, but look, the 1L just got around him. So Gustavo, that's Ricky Johnson driving the 1L right now. He just made a pass on the 70 only because they were
Yeah.
stopped. So once again, that's the only passes we've seen today is when somebody came to a stop pretty much.
Yeah. Yeah. Really. I mean, like I said, treacherous section, keep your head down, keep the truck moving forward, try not to have any downtime. I think for me, I'm willing to give up a little bit of time to keep the truck clean through a section like the Mike's Loop
Yeah.
because access is so hard to get in there. If you do something stupid or you run off the road and you get high centered, like that's the end of your race. So
Yeah.
we're going to keep
Yeah.
it clean, trying to keep it on the track and just move forward, move towards
This is
San Quintin.
This is interesting right here. Look at this. Ethan Ebert in the Honda Grocery Getter SUV is first on the road in the two-wheel drive class still, all the way up past Mike's. That's I mean, he's
Yeah.
up to what that's in the top 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. He's in like Lofton's ahead of him. He's like 10th overall right now in a two-wheel
Yeah,
drive.
that's impressive. And it was a very impressive qualifying run he had too. To beat, the other trucks with big Dugans, big blocks, and big
Yeah.
power. And he had a really clean qualifying run and running a really clean race so far too.
Yeah, that's the truck. If you guys aren't familiar, it has a twin turbo V6 in it actually. So it's a Honda engine in the Honda truck. So that's kind of interesting. But yeah, we'll see if
And
Kevin
then
Thompson
and
gets
then did you
moving then.
see Robbie and Rob Mack are kind of right on top of each other right now too. So they got
Yeah.
a little
Yeah, actually,
race
look at
going
that.
between them.
0 minutes each, both. So that is a good update. Yeah.
Yep. And then it
Yeah.
looks like Luke just crossed the observatory road heading south.
Yep.
So now he is starting that. You can see how the course, if you zoom out a little bit, where Luke is headed, it just gets really, really tight, technical, twisty.
Definitely.
If you turn the terrain on the tracking, you can actually see where the lines are super close together. That's elevation change.
Let's see if it'll
And
load
you
this
can
one.
see on that whole section, it's just solid, really tight lines. It's just very big elevation changes.
Oh, it doesn't want to load too much there. Trying to different level her. Let's see. Yeah, this is one of the highest parts on the course right here too, I believe, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it
Yeah.
gets
It's
up to some
really, really
elevation.
treacherous in there.
Yeah. Well, this is going to be interesting to watch. We will definitely keep an eye on this. These are good track updates right now. Look at 0 and 0.
Yeah.
So those are both
Yeah.
the same. He's at 168.1 and 168.4, 3/10 of a mile behind him right now. It's about a quarter
3/10, and
mile.
they're going, 20 miles an hour, 28 miles an hour.
They're all two. Yeah, 22,
Yeah.
28, 21. They're not going fast.
That shows you how it's nasty back in there. Look at
Yeah.
Toby's clicking along pretty good.
Yeah, he's going pretty good there. Yeah. Yeah, this is cool. This is so cool with the Star Stream and Starlink. It's so rad. We can watch
Crazy.
this stuff. It's
It's
it's awesome. Yeah.
it's so cool. I mean, as opposed to
Yeah.
just watching the dots move on a page.
Yeah, yeah, I know this is all we used to have was like this, right? Which is I have to try to
Yep.
make a show out of something here, but now we have,
Yep.
cameras at least this, and then we got Score has their show going, so I have that on,
Yeah.
and then we can talk
Yeah,
to
and
people like you. Yeah.
Score is doing great with their they I had some times down from race mile 140. They had a live feed going at Mike's Road.
Yep.
Toby was 41 seconds behind Luke physically. Tavo another minute back. Alan another minute 35 back. So it's cool just based on the live feed, as long as they don't change it. You know what I mean? You can set a stopwatch and then you can take times on what's happening in the race.
Yeah. Yeah, totally. No, it's cool. I think Score even lets you, if you go to their YouTube, you can select the different cameras to just watch that camera too. They started
Oh,
doing
really?
that, I think, at least for a couple of
Oh,
the
that's
cameras
cool.
they did. Yeah. So
Yeah,
it's
that's
kind of
cool.
cool. Right
I
on. All
wonder,
right.
the one
Well,
thing I wish that Score would do is on their sectors on the live timing, which is awesome. I
yes,
wish
right
they
here.
would put like a race mile so
So
you knew where
I don't
sector
know what
2, sector 3, and all that is.
I don't know why they don't do that because I think they had it on the motos. Let's see. Look, it's on the motos. So they
Oh,
just
uh-huh.
forgot. They literally forgot to copy it over to the other one. So their
Gotcha.
sectors are right there, right? So it's
Okay.
74, 168, 269, 349 in the finish.
So it looks like 168. They're at 169 right now. So
This is the
those should be
bikes.
populating pretty
So
quick.
let's see if we go back over here. Yeah, so they should be popping up pretty soon. On my
Yeah.
other one, I just got Luke through 170. So this one should
Okay.
be populating pretty soon. Yeah. At 165, Toby Price was 1 minute and 6 seconds ahead of Luke on corrected time, which is
Okay. So
weird
yeah, at
because
140, he was a minute 19 up corrected. So Luke did a little 15-second increase there, which is good. So
yeah, and
yeah,
this
maybe
might be
Toby's
off
just
by
cruising and
this might be off by a couple seconds, right? Because Toby, oh no, Toby started 2 minutes behind Luke, so that's right.
yeah,
I was thinking he
yeah,
was 1 minute, and if he was 106, it means he would have passed him, but he started two
right,
minutes back. Yeah,
right.
yeah, so we're good. All right,
Yep.
we'll keep an eye on this and see when they update here. But yeah, really close race. 1 minute between the top guys right now. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah.
Yeah,
Really good racing.
insane. All right. Well, thanks for jumping on. Maybe we'll have you come
Absolutely.
back on a little later. But
Okay.
have a good day, and yeah, thanks for the information. Always appreciated.
100%. Thanks for having me on. Everyone out there, be safe if you're chasing. Let's have a good race. We'll see you
All
later.
right. Thanks, Andy. See ya.
Bye.
All right, so that was Andy McMillan. That was cool for him to jump on. I know he'd rather be down there racing, as all of us would be when you're. It's tough not to go racing when you're used to racing. Watching the race at home isn't quite the same thing as being in the race, but it's fun to at least be able to talk about it and get to watch it now and everything. So that's cool. So that's that. Yeah, that's. I think we talked about the trophy trucks enough for now. Let's go look at the. Let me see if I can find the bikes for you guys. They got to be really close to the finish here. So let's see the bikes. My class, motos and quads. Here we go. Hold on. Pro moto. There we go. All right. Yep, they are finished. Look at this. Perfect timing. The 7X looks like they just came into the finish. That is Rancho Nelson doing 12 miles an hour. He's going to finish literally right now, driving across the finish line. So Tyler Lynn looks to be your winner unofficially. Remember, we have to check VCPs, have to get speeding penalties, any of that stuff. That's all going to come later. But the 7X has finished. So your first bike finisher, congratulations to the 7X. They are into the finish. The 1X is not too far behind. Arturo Salas, anything can happen. Like I said, you got to look at penalties, any of that stuff. But the 1X looks to be second place. They're just about to finish, only a couple miles out. And then the 201X is at 0 miles an hour at Ojos. That might be a pit right there, possibly, but they're not too far out from the finish. So there's a look at your top bikes. Where's the quads? We got to find the quads. Here they are. Wow, look at this. It's even closer than it was before. Look at how far I have to zoom in to see them. Wow, this is so close. 393.4 and 393.3 a minute ago. They're literally riding next to each other. That is insane. So the 138A and the 101A are right on top of each other, literally just riding into the finish, racing each other after racing for 400 miles. That doesn't get any better than that, right? So pretty cool. Some good racing going on in the quads there. Let's look at a couple of the other classes real quick, and then I'm going to sign off because I have some updates to do. That was a little bit longer update for you guys, but it was worth it because that was a cool one. All right, Justin Davis is showing as first on the road. It looks like Jordan Brenthal, that's Abdali Lopez, is showing as second. in spec class this is. EJ Herps, Ryan Millen, third. Jason McNeil, has an update for 3 minutes. He's probably still in front. So Jason McNeil probably still in front. His tracker's just updating behind all day today. Jack Olagus, good run for the kid going here. So Jack showing there. And then Mike Mersal, that is Grabowski driving there. So he's going to be there. Ryan Hancock, good to see them. Jordan Poole, Ryan Hancock having a good run so far. We have the Thor Herps 200, Ben Hagel, and then Neil Dricky, and so on. So that's a look at your leaders there. In let me see, in class 1, let's see, where is class 1? Hold on, I'm trying to find it on my list. There they are. All right, we had a report. So the Wilson car actually rolled over. They had a rollover, so that's what happened to the Wilson car. Cody Reed, 168, is out front. Cody Parkhouse. So we got Cody and Cody. Cody Reed versus Cody Parkhouse. Really close to each other. Both of them out there. And then the Wilsons was rolled back over here. They got it back on the wheels, but we're waiting to see if they get going again or not. The car didn't look too bad. I saw a picture. It had 2 flat tires, so they're going to have to put the 2 spares on. I don't know if anything else was damaged on the car yet, but hopefully they can get the Kyle Quinn car going again. In class 10, it is going to be Harley down here, the 1013. And we're just told Wilson's car is back in the race literally right now. So this 138, you're probably going to see this go to mile per hour. But the 138 is back in the race. So good to hear for the Wilsons. Eliseo showing his second. Stan Potter, third in the single seat. Jason Shipman and Brendan Gaughan is in the 162, but at 0 miles an hour. That's what happened to Brendan. So bummer there. The car has been stopped for a little bit because they lost some time in that class 1 car. Hopefully they can get going again. That's a fun group of guys that they have come down and race that car. All right. Well, that's it for this update. I got to do some other stuff, but don't worry. We'll be back at 2 o'clock with our next update. And meanwhile, we're going to watch Toby here. Hopefully his feed comes back on. Go over and watch the score live stream and then come back here at 2 o'clock. And I'll be back here with your next Fishgistics update. Once again, thanks to Method Race Wheels, Fox Shocks, BFG Tires, VP Racing, Alexander Ford, Vision Canopy, Alfred Distribution, Baja Designs, and Monster. Thanks to all of you guys for supporting us as always. Come back in just about half an hour for your next update here on the 2025 Baja 500.